Look, it's the greatest shanty boat of all time. I'm the goat of shanty boat life. Now shut up and watch my video.
Hello guys, welcome to the channel. So let's get into a little bit about the shanty boat that we're building for basically 1,500 bucks. I'll kind of show you here a little bit, and we've marketplace been a big thing. Of course, Brenton got the big start on all of the stuff, more or less, but let me give you a little bird's eye view here of what we got going on here. We basically did 2x3 construction with 1/4-inch plywood on the outside, and but what I had found, because I got a little bit of a gap here, and it's really designed for 2x4s, and I tried shaving this stuff down, and it just created an awful mess. So what I did is put some little furring strips in here, and that brought it out, and then that allowed me to go ahead and start putting the cedar in here. And that's pretty much what I had to do. I ended up getting a door. Somebody gave it to me from on YouTube, so that worked out really good. I'd like to have the door open out, but the only way for me to do that was I had to switch everything around, and I just didn't want to do all that. It was like kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to leave it like that for now, because I'm trying to build and get this thing done, because we are looking to put this out in the cove as quick and as soon as we possibly can. Now, we went with the roof on here, that aluminum, and I got to patch a few of the little holes here or whatever, but we did that again to save on weight and to save on time. Don't have to build a roof. I am going to put something across here, insulate it and everything, so you don't have the rain, and then paint that. Windows, this was a freebie that I got in Manistee. This come from Brenton. I pulled these out and made these work. This is another freebie. This here was an Anderson window free, which is kind of nice because it can go in and it can go out, and it does have a screen. It's a very heavy window. It's not my perfect choice, but it was free. And what we'll do is clean it all up and paint it. But we can do that kind of stuff out in the cove, and I just want to get out in the water. We're already into June. I do want to put a screen door here. I've been looking and looking and looking. I'm going to go and check tomorrow at another place. I'd like to put a nice storm door, screen door, and have that open this way. Just because, number one, it just takes away from having to put siding on there and everything. So that's kind of where that's at. We started with the cedar. We're going to put a wood here. It's going to be a countertop, and that'll be for cooking, and a little sink to do some dishes and that kind of thing. And we'll put some cabinets up here over time that we can store stuff. A little table I made that wasn't the bus, but we cut it down, made it nice and small. I'm going to put a nice piece of wood on top of that and put that in, and that'll sit right here. I do have a couple chairs that's given to me, so we'll put those in here to be able to sit here and whatnot. But as for the floor, we're going to leave it as it is for now, but we'll probably put some kind of flooring in here. I don't know what. We'll figure that all out when the time comes. Like I said, it's all about trying to keep the weight down. We put the transom on the other day. That was a kind of a bugger, but it really wasn't hard, but it was just awkward getting in there. Let's take a look outside here. So as I say, we got the transom in here. I'm going to get some more boards here that are going to be tongue and groove pine, and that's going to be basically how I'm going to do the back, and that's kind of how I did the front. And then I did the 1/4-inch plywood, which will trim it all out in this kind of stuff here. I was going to do white. I'm flipping these around and I'm going to varnish them, and there'll be, you know, I've got the trim board here. I'll put another trim board here, and then there'll be one across and one on, of course, on the corners like this. We made a little railing here, nothing fancy. I was able to scrounge out of the dumpster from a great big motel they're building, and I got a ton of 2x4s, all free. So all this stuff was free for the 2 railings. I have the other railing over there. I was going to put an overhang on here, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I got a bimini that we're going to look into that was sent to me by a company. So we may end up having a bimini here, and then we can take that all down when we transport this and keep the wind resistance down. And again, this side is kind of the similar. I've got one to put on there, and then button it back in, and then I'm pretty much in good shape. Now let's go back in so I can show you a little more what we're going to do on the inside. And again, this will be all just varnished. We've got the Shantyboat Life here. We'll paint that in some turquoise or something, just something, you know, to make it unique. Anyway, so that's what's going to happen in this corner, and then we'll have our bunk, or the bed will set right here, and maybe just a little table over here to put some stuff on, and that's going to be about it, because that's all we're going to have really room for in a way. We'll utilize, you know, hugely on the deck here. That'll be extra room. Like I said, I tried to keep all the weight down. I will, once I get this framed in, I'll run it down to the lake, and I will, which is only a mile away. I think it's mile and a half. We'll plop it in, drop it down just to see how it sets in the water, and I'll show you the video of that. I had a ton of footage of some of the building and stuff going on, but for some reason I can't get it to, it keeps saying a corrupted file. I'm not sure what's wrong with that. I'm going to keep working on it, and hopefully I can fix that. Maybe I can, I don't know, I'll have to figure that out, but for some reason it's saying corrupted file and won't let me pull the 2 made videos I had of putting stuff together. But I wanted to get a video up for you guys. I know you guys don't want to wait, so I understand that. You want to see more of, you know, what's going on. We're going to trim all these out. We'll put another piece of trim kind of here and here and trim these out really nice. And we'll put some you know, some caulking and stuff in there, just trying to keep, you know, and this is even really bad, but we're going to put a nice piece of trim here, this side and the other side, both of them with caulking, and I'm just trying to utilize what I have and what you can get for free on the marketplace. And, you know, like I said, Brenton had a bunch of stuff, so that's kind of where we're at. Anyway, yeah, let's see here. That is, I guess, about it. Oh, yeah, in the next couple days here, matter of fact, probably in the next day, I'm going to button this all up except for the door, and I'm going to continue to finish getting it all insulated. And then I can kind of go with the cedar kind of up to where the wainscoting would be all the way around, and that'll be the start anyway. And then I might have to get some more cedar to polish it off. And then, like I said, the ceiling we're going to run, I don't know, 2x2s maybe from here kind of all the way across. Just something to get some insulation up in there, and then get some kind of a ceiling in there. That's not going to be super crucial right now, but it won't be real tinny then. It'll be, you know, a little more weather protected, and when it rains, it won't be so much of a ping, ping, ping on that, on this aluminum. And then maybe over time, depending on how the weight situation came out on all this, we'll come off here and maybe run actually a regular flat roof ceiling on here. I don't know. It's again, we're just trying to get down to making sure we have, you know, the weight is extremely light. That's just the key of this whole the whole thing, which we should be in really good shape with this being the 24-inch tunes. or 25-inch tunes. So, and again, all this will get painted and, you know, painted white, and it'll really look nice. And then we'll varnish this, and then I'm going to put some kind of, and then over time, probably this stuff here will end up being, we'll put something in here, maybe some kind of, maybe even vinyl. You know, if somebody can offer up some free vinyl that they did their house and they want to just drop and get rid of the vinyl, then that's what we'll do. We'll just put vinyl in there. It'll look really nice, a gray or a white or something like that. It'd be perfect. I'm probably going to put a 2x4 in here for more, you know, stability or whatever you want to call it, and maybe one here. Again, I'm just trying to keep it down to a super light. When I put this in the water, my goal is to try to keep the water line halfway, so I've got a lot of freeboard on this. That's kind of the you know, that's the real kicker on this whole thing. But anyway, that's where we're at. That's what's going on. And we will I'll keep working on that footage and stuff, but I'm gonna try and get something up, and then we'll get something more going on here, and we'll give you an idea. Part of this drone footage was kind of where we're going to put the boat for hanging out for some of the summer and whatnot, but we're going to put it, you know, in some different places. But, you know, the main thing is back down at the place where I was the one summer, where I took off with the 17-foot open bow boat. So that's what we're going to do, is kind of go down and make it happen there. Probably for a little heat in there, we'll probably do a little buddy heater or something like that, just to take a chill off in the morning or something like that. You know, we're getting into summer, so it's really pretty nice, 65, 68 degrees now and stuff. You know, it's a low of 50, 54, you know, I mean, we're getting there, so that part's not a big deal. I guess that is about it right now. We'll get this stuff up, and you guys can take a look at it. If you have any ideas or whatever and stuff, throw the stuff in the comments. If you think of anything that you know, comes to mind, that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, as for framing this out and everything, it was really pretty simple. But the toughest part was just putting the walls up on there, and I kind of showed a little bit of that, but it was pretty simple. I just put the wall up, and I had a 2x4 come down, and I just was able to kind of keep it there for myself. And then I put the front wall on, framed in, and then tied it in, and then just kind of just went right around in block chunks, and then put the roof on last and just stuck it up there. It's going to get lag bolted in once I get this done. Then I'm going to lag bolt these in on 2 back there, 2 here, 2 on the other side, front and back. And then I might put a little bit of flashing down this, a little bit of a 90-degree piece of flashing or something in there, just to help keep the rain, you know, off there. It'd be nice to put actually a rain catching system, you know, there, and then a barrel back there where you got fresh water. But I've got fresh water in the you know, in the lake and everything. It's not such a big deal. But I probably will use the hot water heater. I think maybe I'll take that with, and I can just throw that out the back and set it and everything, and just run it, pump the water right out, and heat it up, and, you know, have a hot shower going on whenever I want to. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That might be the way to go with that. But as we keep going, you know, we'll keep telling, you know, putting it as to all this coming together and stuff. We'll just keep adding stuff to it. And if I can get this other 2 videos I had of some of the building there, like I said, it keeps saying corrupted file, and won't I don't know. I'll keep working on it, but I'm going to try and get this up, and then we'll just add it into the next video. No big deal. All right, guys, let's get to it.